Buzzard.
All right, I don't like much about you.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Nobody mentioned, because I love them, just those old school Dorito taco flavor.
Oh, yeah.
They make them in the old bag, the original bag now. And
yeah, those are good.
I like those a lot.
I just don't eat a lot of Doritos.
I don't either.
I don't get them a lot. But
and some people just, when they do,
while.
they reflexively go for the Cool Ranch. And that's fine.
Or the nacho cheese.
Boring.
What kind of cheese isn't yours, Mary?
Nacho cheese.
Or not mine? Or,
Yep.
Is your MAGA brother the one who lives in Louisville?
Mm-hmm.
Will you give me his address?
No.
No.
Why?
Well, because I was reading that.
He wants to send him a can of Pringles with a surprise in it.
No. I was reading that gas prices have dropped for 10 weeks straight, and I want to send him a stack of those Biden did that stickers.
Oh.
So he can put them on all the gas pumps.
You should. Maybe I will give you his address.
Mm-hmm. Well, put some Alan Cox Show stickers in there, too. Of course, he could also get those from you, but... Yeah, it's weird how when gas drops, you don't see those Biden did that stickers all over the pumps anymore. Weird.
Interesting.
I was filling up this morning, and I was like, wow, that doesn't seem like much at all. And then I kind of Googled average gas prices, and it said, yeah, they've dropped for about a couple of months now. I'm like, all right. The Deep Purple on the Buzzard, 100.7 WMMS, Little Space Trucking Bundle. The Cavs win last night, by the way. Here at home against the Atlanta Hawks. They'll stay in town for a couple more days. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, they're going to host the Trailblazers. And then Saturday, they are off to play the Pistons. And don't you dare, by the way. I know there's people over there at the Cavaliers organization that listen to this program, transcribe it probably, as we're the FM flagship for the Cavaliers. Don't you dare go long on Saturday night, because I got a metal show to do at 10 o'clock.
Duh.
All right? Trifle with me, you ornery mange barren coyote. So let's get the game. Let's do it. It's the Pistons. You know, have your way with them. But come 10 o'clock, you better be done. The game will be done. Whoever does a post show, chop, chop. Let's, can you say chop, chop anymore? Is that considered? Is that
What's the origin of that?
Chop, chop?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a chef thing.
I think it's an Asian thing, and I don't know you're supposed to say that anymore. That's why I asked. Nevertheless, I'm sure some of our Asian listeners will get me hip to that. Or maybe somebody's schooled in Asian studies. But 10 o'clock Saturday night, right after the Cavs game, we do a metal show here called 2 Hours to Midnight. We were off this past weekend because it was a holiday, and I was gone. But it's me, and it's Corey Roddick, and it's Pat Butler, and it's 2 hours of metal. So I'm just saying to the people over there at the Cavaliers, let's wrap it up by 10 o'clock, all right? So I can get on with my life over here. I was reading about how LeBron suffered the greatest loss of his career the other night. The worst defeat of his NBA career against the 76ers. Lakers got beat by 44 points.
That's a lot.
138-94 on Monday night. The 44-point loss, the worst in LeBron James' career.
How many points did he have?
He had 92 points.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh.
But
I'm saying for someone who's
they said he didn't even grab a rebound. Didn't grab one rebound the whole Game the Sixers beat the Lakers for the 7th straight time. These
Well, it
guys
sound like there was a lot of rebounds to grab if they scored almost 150 points.
Right.
A lot of misses there.
Yeah. Joel Embiid, of course, of the Sixers, he refers to the Lakers as his favorite team, saying that Kobe Bryant is how he learned about basketball. There's a whole generation of young players, who came up being fans of Kobe. So, I don't know how many points LeBron had, but
He had 18.
yeah, Joel
That's
Embiid
not
had
enough.
30 points. That is not enough.
Not a lot.
18 points in 29 minutes. Doesn't that seem like a lot?
No.
Oh, in a half an hour?
They come in twos.
What?
Yeah, or threes.
Well, then that
sometimes.
then that should be 36 points.
Right, that's what I mean.
Well, baskets and points are different.
What? I got to listen to the Poundcake Sports Break later on. I got to get hip to all this. He's got a brand new one coming around 5:30.
Is he breaking down how scores are different in different games?
I sure hope so. It's why, Joel Embiid might have gotten a hold of his basketball information from Kobe Bryant, but Kobe's not around anymore to get me the info, so I have to rely on our own Cody Poundcake Brown. He's not only Cleveland's best sports talker, according to the readers of Cleveland Scene magazine, but he's the best sports talker we have on this show. And that's a pretty high bar because, boy, I'll tell you what, you get Bill Squire or Mary Santora or Alan Cox talking about sports, woo! We'll talk your goddamn ears off.
Put you in a tizzy.
All in a tizzy. So 5:30 today. That's going to be exciting when we get the new Poundcake Sports Break.
I'm breaking down something, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yes. Some people are taking umbrage with one of the guys in the UK Parliament because he took a weird detour. I mean, first off, this is a really, you think nobody can get anything done here, or they're dealing with dumb stuff over in the United States Congress. Over in the UK, they're debating the presence of gray squirrels. A guy named Jim Shannon, who is, to an American ear, is very difficult to understand, but he's a member of Unionist Party in Northern Ireland. And there's a big debate over whether or not they should control the gray squirrel population, because there are groups trying to protect the red squirrel population. And the guy didn't want the gray squirrels to invade their territory. He made kind of a weird analogy about it.
Stuart Ranger team, they are in constant contact to monitor red squirrels and eradicate any greys that venture. Indeed, the very presence of grey squirrels are the Hamas of the squirrel world.
Wait, what?
Gray squirrels are the Hamas of the squirrel world. Say that 5 times
Come
fast.
on.
Listen, it's on everybody's mind. How are you going to be speaking extemporaneously about gray squirrels and their infestation of the red squirrel community and not have... That just shows you that this guy is thinking nonstop, trying to help find solutions to the Israeli-Gazan conflict, and it's seeped into his other parts of his legislation there. That gray squirrels are the Hamas of the squirrel world. But we're all thinking about it. Listen, Nickelback is the Hamas of the rock world, all right? We all know that.
I like
Malort is the Hamas of liquors. We all know that. Panera's Napa almond chicken salad sandwich, for instance, is the Hamas of sandwiches. So don't leave this guy out there hanging. You know, he's closer to that conflict than we are in Northern Ireland. But some people, they had to put out a hastily drawn up statement that he didn't mean anything by it. But you could barely understand the guy, right? I mean,
It's hard
he's,
to
you know.
understand.
Yeah, he's very hard to understand.
Stuart Ranger team, they are in constant contact to monitor red squirrels and eradicate any greys that venture. Indeed, the very presence of grey squirrels are the Hamas of the squirrel world.
Maybe he was trying to say that gray squirrels really love hummus.
Oh, they make good hummus.
Gray squirrels?
Yeah, They're the hummus of the, you make them into a puree.
Oh, make them into.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Wow. Hey, are you short on
Hummus,
chickpeas? What about squirrel? You ever had squirrel before?
No.
Yes, I have. When I was a kid, we drove out to Arizona and we stopped at the Big Texan in Amarillo, Texas, and they had like rattlesnake and squirrel and rabbit on their menu. So we tried a little bit of everything.
It's not bad. I mean,
it's all just meat.
Yes, it tastes like 100 other things.
Yeah, I couldn't really. And also, when you're having it on a like tasting platter like that, I think everything was pretty much deep fried. So just like nothing had like a distinct flavor that I was like, oh, that's different.
Right. Because some people go, well, it's a little gamey, it's whatever. But, they also have to, for people who are like Cajun cooking and things like that, they douse it in so much spice.
Mm-hmm. Didn't let the natural flavor of the nuts that the squirrels are eating come through in the meat.
That's why I sound like, I thought this would be a lot nuttier. I mean, they're trying to, I realize they're trying to squash whatever waft of rodentia there is with these squirrel stew, but man, put some mice and rats in there. That's what I understand. They're all rodents. People are making squirrel stew. But if you said, hey, would you like some rat stew or mouse stew? People would go bananas.
It doesn't sound great.
No.
Yeah.
So what's it?
I don't
Like you
think
said,
I
it's
like
all
squirrel
meat.
either. Yeah, I don't think it's all. But yeah, there's something about squirrel that is more palatable. Because maybe it's because they're cuter.
Is that what it is?
I think
make them less likely to eat them.
Right, but you're more, and they also don't invade your home. Like a mouse and a rat invade your home, and like you think of them being in like your garbage and stuff like that, which a squirrel would do too. But the idea of a rat is more just filthy.
They carry disease, and historically, rats and mice are looked down
bubonic
upon.
plague.
Yeah, boy, they're trying to wash that off the lowly rats, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to live down the plague.
Yeah.
Guys, it was years ago. Come on.
So long ago.
Forgive
Just
us.
get over it.
My goodness. You always bring it up. Always with the bubonic with you.
So, your thought: the cuter the animal, the more likely you would be to eat it. Is that what you're saying? Because they were so cute?
No, I think.
Like, would you have
maybe it's not about the cuteness, but I think it's about the, like, just what you're associating them with. Like, you think of a squirrel, that's like a wild animal. But you think of a rat, you're like, that's invading my human space and being gross.
I see.
Yeah, like
a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
So, if there's an animal similarly made of meat, but it's not anywhere near kind of your living quarters, you go, okay, that's far enough away where I can make something out of that. Like if I...
And also, squirrel is something that I would eat only to survive at this point. Like, I'm not going to... But I also...
Aren't we all eating to survive?
But I'm saying, like, I would eat squirrel if I was in a...
like a survival setting.
Yeah, Survivor Man situation where you had to eat like a rabbit or a squirrel or something.
You had to catch your food.
Just to exist.
I mean, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. Every year at Christmas, I make my famous Alpine marmot stew. And it is...
Nice marmot.
And my stew really ties the room together, and it's really, really delicious. It's not as good as my meerkat mincemeat pie, but it's right up there. So, something to consider.
And this is why your tastes are so off.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it.
Meerkat mince pie or whatever.
Is it because I've been eating too much marmot?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh.
Someone brought up, what about Whoopsie? She's cute, and she's probably delicious.
Who said that?
Just a texter.
Oh. Yeah, but did she have a lot of fat on her?
Not really.
Oh.
So there's not going to be very good marbling there.
No, there's not. She's going to be stringy.
Alan, what would you consider the Hamas of dogs or birds? There's a Hamas of everything if there's a Hamas of squirrels. Well, maybe he thought, like a group of lions is called a pride and a group of crows is called a murder. Maybe he thinks a group of squirrels is called a Hamas. They're a Hamas of squirrels.
Doesn't like the gray squirrels.
Although you never do see them in a big pack.
No, they're pretty solo.
They like their space. There's one thing you know about squirrels. They like their space. Can you eat squirrel if you have a nut allergy? I don't know. Alan, it was the fleas, not the rats, that caused the black plague. The rats didn't help. You're probably right, but the rats didn't help.
The fleas were on the rats, I thought.
Fleas were on the rats, yeah. I mean, everything there was, they weren't really, they weren't into the sanitation part of life yet. So that's something they had to consider.
Was it poop? Okay, wait a minute.
I'm sorry?
The bubonic plague.
Did you say pooponic plague?
No, bubonic.
The gray pooponic plague. Now, that was another thing altogether. Mustard everywhere.
I might be thinking of a movie. But was this the one where people's, skin would bleed?
Yeah, they'd have sores and all kinds of stuff.
But they would, puff up and, leak?
Puff up and leak.
Leak, fluids and pus
Yeah, probably.
and blood.
Yeah. Probably all that stuff, right?
I think I'm thinking of a movie, though. I don't know that this is what I'm thinking of is real. I can picture a guy with a really big face leaking fluid, and they said he had the bubonic plague. That might have been a movie. Are there movies about this?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, in the Middle Ages, killed hundreds of millions of people.
Hundreds of millions?
What's that?
Hundreds of millions?
Yeah, right? A couple 100 million people.
Damn.
Yeah. And that was over the course of 20 years. So it killed a lot of people in a short period of time because it was the fleas, but then it was person-to-person contact. But you're probably right. You probably watched something that, where people were bleeding out of their faces or
swollen, painful lymph nodes. As large as chicken eggs, groin, armpit, or neck. So maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Get a big old goiter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cough with blood.
Yeah. None of it's good.
Yeah.
None of it's
bleeding,
good.
delirium.
What's the matter with you? I've got swollen lymph nodes.
Are these
the hand
bubonic?
under my neck.
My nodes are swollen.
This could also just be the lineup for that metal or for
2 hours to midnight.
2 hours to midnight this weekend.
Son of a bitch. The bubonic plague?
Mm-hmm. All
bleeding, delirium.
Yeah.
Cough with blood.
Who am I playing this week on 2 hours? Maybe I do have something like that. I'd have to look. I'll be playing, Deaf Rat is next week. I'll be playing Humanity's Last Breath.
Okay, so
That's
this
a good
is what
band.
it is. I'm looking up on Wikipedia, but the buboes, B-U-B-O-E-S.
Okay.
Those are the big lymph nodes that would swell to the size of a chicken egg. They would turn black and necrotic, rotting away surrounding tissue and rupture, discharging large amounts of pus. I feel like I saw that.
Rupture and discharge.
There you
we really got off light with COVID. That could have been so bad.
Yeah.
Rupturing egg size. Ugh.
That's when they were big on leeches, right? That's when the leech thing started, I think. They still do it. They still administer leeches to this day.
Wow.
I got an egg-shaped, what was it called, a bubo?
Bubo.
I got a bubo on my leg.
I'm discharging pus.
Oh.
Not the kind for women.
So much black necrotic pus.
Please let me out of the shed.
A bubo.
I might not be even saying that right.
They probably are. I mean,
bubonic
comes from that, right?
Boob.
Okay.
This guy. The bubonic plague is how he thinks of it. He's like, oh, man, what would I have done back then? Nothing.
Well, you can.
Just would have stared the whole time.
There's lymph nodes in your groin, Cody. Boobs. Get them right by where your hip flexors are.
Imagine if Bubos was your surname, because there are certainly people named Bubos. And you'd have to go, oh, I'm Frank Bubos. And, probably aren't enough people who know that word where you wouldn't get a lot of laughs. But sooner or later, you're going to run into a professor of medieval history. You know how you're always running into those people?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And, boy, they're going to laugh at you. Or, a phrenologist or somebody who knows something from way back. I've got to take a break here. I will have, Tesla tickets. You want to go see the band Tesla? They are on their Keeping It Real tour in the spring. I think March is when they come to do the MGM Northfield Park. So I'll hook you up with those on the way back if you want to text 35192.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart